Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hello, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all. Episode 384, a production of Edgewise.Media. I'm Sanjay Park.
And I'm Adam Walker, and man, we got a lot of articles for you today. A lot. We got some AI stuff.
We've got a bumper crop.
We got so much going on this week. It's been a good week in technology, I think. So
yeah, this is what happens when I'm gone for a week, right?
Yeah.
So then we kind of load it up.
Yeah. You didn't get your outlet of tech, whatever it is, and now you gotta
vomiting.
Yes, that's the word, vomiting. I can't think of the
that's
word.
The sound that you made.
I can't think of the word vomit on the fly. Apparently, like that's the
Wait
level
a minute, though.
Of my brain at the moment.
You have like a million kids. I imagine that vomiting happens almost daily in your house.
Yeah, well, I mean, we try to do it bi-daily, which is twice a day. That's actually the goal.
Oh, twice a day. Okay,
but yeah, I mean,
I thought you were going the other way, like half speed, doing it every other day. No, you want to do it twice. So morning and an evening, vomit.
We have a vomitorium, just like the old Romans did in our house. It's down the hallway corridor, and then you turn just like you would in the old Roman times. There's the vomitorium. And you keep going, and you're good to go. So.
This is our new podcast, Vomit Talk, y'all.
Listen, they had a vomitorium. I mean, that's what it was called, and I think there's some debate on what it was really used for. But people do claim it was for vomiting. Apparently, I don't think that's actually true. Whatever.
Didn't even know that was a thing. So
look up vomitorium, old Roman times.
I'm not going to look that up at all.
I'll look it up and send you photos. It'll be great. All right. First up, let's speaking of vomitoriums. Oh man, I love the dog on Microsoft. I really do. All right. Microsoft wants Windows Update to handle all apps. So when you update your Windows, it'll update all the apps at the same time. Which is actually kind of great. I got to admit. I
think this is useful for maybe smaller software developers.
Right.
I don't know that this makes sense for larger software developers because here's the risk you run, right? And we've seen this before on the Play Store and the App Store, where now you've ceded control to another organization who then at their whim could decide, no, you're not going to be on the store anymore, right?
Yeah, that's true. I see what
and so then what happens to your updates? Like all of your installs that are out there are now orphaned because they're not going to update.
Because you don't have direct control over the updates directly to the app. You're going through them. And because you're going through them, they can shut you down. Ooh, interesting.
So I think it's a risk. I think for smaller software developers, this is a nice thing because now you don't have to build the infrastructure to do all those updates.
Yeah.
But I think I think developers need to go into this eyes wide open, because there is a potential downside of not controlling your own destiny doing this.
Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. What's next, Sanjay?
Talk about somebody that's controlling their own destiny and finally making it more sensible to understand their destiny. Apple is reportedly going to rename all of its operating systems. So iOS 26, Mac OS 26, Watch OS 26, iPad OS 26. Apple's going to rebrand all of the device software. My God, this is, I think, fantastic. You folks in the Apple ecosystem talk about like, well, I'm on Mac OS. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
When is that from?
Yeah.
Everybody else has been doing it. Windows started this a long time ago with Windows 95. Right.
Yeah,
so it's been however many years now.
Yeah, but then they went off of that for a while too. And they did like the weird things and all kinds of weird craziness too. So like they sort of did, but sort of didn't.
They did. But Samsung has been doing this since 2020.
Okay.
They've had like, so
That's
they jumped from
example.
They jumped from the S20, the S10 to the S20 all of a sudden. So they jumped like 10 numbers.
Yeah.
But now every year, you know what year the model is. Like I've got an S20 right now.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about actual devices, or you're talking about
devices?
The software? See, the phones. This is what I was going to say is like, but this is for the software, not for the phones, right? And I would like for them to do this for the phones as well, for that very reason, because like right now, I'm rocking an iPhone 13, and like I don't remember how, it's a lot of generations old, but I can't remember exactly how many because it's like, I don't even know what number we're on right now, So like, it would be nice to have like the generation number of the phone and the OS number to be aligned, so you sort of know where you're at in that spectrum. And they honestly, they might sell more devices that way. I mean, like really, because it would kind of remind you like, hey, you're really behind here, So.
Right. I got to imagine if they're going to do this with the software, it's only a matter of time that they do it with the hardware as well.
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, they probably won't do it with the laptops and things like that, but the iPhone, that's something that I think you replace much more often than you do a laptop or something like that. So
maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess I think my laptop and my iPhone are about the same age, and they're both starting to feel very like slow, like very like they're both about like the 4 or 5 year mark at this point, and they're both like, ugh. But then that's the problem, right? Is it costs about the same amount to get a new phone as it does to get a new laptop, and they're both kind of essential. So like, which one do you go with? I don't know.
Right. So, yeah, maybe you need to figure it out so that they're like off cycle. Right?
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what I need to do.
Your laptop is new, and then your phone gets new in like 2 or 3 years.
What I'm hearing you say is, Adam, you need to buy a new phone today, and then 2 years, a year from now, then buy a laptop. That's what I heard you say.
Do not tell your wife this is the recommendation that I made.
Sanjay knows the tech market, and he said I should buy this today. That's what he's an Apple guy. All of a sudden, who knew? I didn't even know what. Didn't know.
She's right there. She's going to know that you're lying.
Man, she probably would know that I'm lying about that. Yeah. She'd be like, there's no way Sanjay's an Apple guy. Like just knowing him at all. He's like, there's no way. All right, moving on. Speaking of no way, Tesla is hiring humans to control its quote self-driving robo-taxis. So they're loading up on humans to essentially monitor the robo-taxis to make sure they don't do anything stupid or whatever else. I think this is a good move. It concerned me a little bit when I read it that they chose to say that Tesla's hiring humans as though they could hire something other than humans to do this role. So that felt
dogs,
a little
cats.
It's like Tesla's hiring AI agents. It's like I feel like that's the article title in 10 years or something. So, but no, I mean this makes sense. I think it's good. They're already rolling out. I think, and is it in Austin? Is that right? I forget what.
I think so. Yeah, but I think this kind of begs this whole thing of like Musk is always saying like, oh yeah, robo taxis next week we're gonna have them. Yeah. It's gonna be great. Yeah. Whatever. You know what happens when this rolls out? He's gonna be like, see, I told you, and it's like, well, but no, not really.
Yeah, you told us, but not really. Yeah.
You got all this stuff behind it that is really not the same thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. Something else that's not going to be the same thing, but it's going to be even more awesome. Chemical modifications of acetaminophen to reduce liver toxicity, enhance drug efficacy.
Okay.
So
I hated this article. Do you want to know why I hate this article?
Why
Sanjay, what am I doing with my freaking life, man?
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Okay, listen, folks. A 17-year-old figured this out. Yep. What am I doing with my life? Like I haven't made a major drug breakthrough. Like what? What is happening here?
I haven't broke through anything. So Chloe Yewan Lee out of Plano, Texas, 17-year-old in high school, basically has this discovery of making acetaminophen. So that's like Tylenol.
Tylenol, yeah.
Less damaging to the liver. Yeah. That's the problem that you have with Tylenol.
But just as effective.
Yeah. Because and actually maybe even potentially more effective.
Yeah, and it was like modifying one molecule or something. And didn't she run this through like some kind of big data thing or something? Like, isn't that how she did it?
I think so. Yeah. I don't even understand.
I mean, it's my crazy. God. Like every once in a while we talk about one of these kids on here that does like this. Like I saw another article about I think another 17-year-old that had constructed a cheaper, better drone, and it was like being purchased by the military. I'm like, what is happening? Like, why am I so stupid? That's what I want to know. Like, what? Like, why am I? Like, oh my God.
Yes, exactly. The thing that I saw when I read this article was like, I've done nothing with my life.
Yeah.
I've
wasted everything.
Yeah. It's, been around for much longer than 17 years and have very little to show for
my gosh.
So
yeah.
There you go.
Well, the next article I know, Sanjay, directly affected you. So Victoria's Secret takes down. I'm sorry. That was a great segue. Victoria's Secret takes down website after security incident. So apparently they had some big security issue because they took down the whole website, which I don't think I've seen a major retailer do that like ever. Have you? I mean, I don't remember one doing that.
It's pretty significant. And not only have they taken down the website, they've told their employees not to use anything internal. No tools, no nothing. They are really, really hosed, it looks like right now. It seems like somebody's gotten in. They have not actually.
Is it still down right now? Is the site still down right now?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I haven't. I can tell you the last time I went to Victoria's Secret website.
Yeah, it'll just pop right up because you typed it in yesterday. It's just like, and really, I asked that question really, Sanjay, just because I wanted to see you go there. Like, I really want that in your browser history. That's the only reason I asked that question. So,
I mean, it's up right now. Okay. I don't know if you can shop and buy, but it looks like it's up. I don't know.
Well, there you go.
So maybe they got to back up. Yeah. The last time I went to that site is never. That was the first time right there that I've ever been to that website. So,
well, now they got you. They know you're interested now. They got you.
Now they got me. They've got that IP targeting. That guy that made that, the whole thing.
You're on the hook. Yeah,
so this is kind of a big deal. I think we're going to see more and more attacks like this happen all of the time. And I think if you're out there, if you've got any kind of website, if you've got any kind of presence, I think you need to be thinking about cybersecurity, especially as you grow larger, because it's like why did what was the Jesse James, like why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. That's why these people are attacking these folks. That's where the money is.
Where the money is. That's it.
Exactly. That's right. Somebody else that has the money and is getting attacked, and they probably shouldn't have been used. Telemessage customers include DC Police, Andreessen Horowitz, JP Morgan, and hundreds more. So I think we talked about this before. Telemessage is the hacked up version of Signal that people in the current administration have been using. It's not good, but I decided to go through this list. I'm going to get down to where it is. So here's the surprising people that are using this, which means it's not really an encrypted thing because
we can tell you who's using it. So by default, we know it's not encrypted because we can tell you.
Right. And the company has access to your unencrypted messages going back and forth. Right. So really, you should just use SMS at this point. But, Andreessen Horowitz, as we mentioned before, Scotia Bank. So I assume that's Nova Scotia Bank.
Okay.
They're on there. Coinbase had some users in there. 20 of them. Yeah. So your stuff is there. Franklin Templeton, which is a big financial firm. They're in there. JP Chase and JP Morgan.
Oh, man.
So, the big money people.
Yeah. They're not talking about anything important. It's fine.
It's totally fine. Morgan Stanley's in there as well, which is part of them. Let's see who else that I saw in here that was interesting. That's about it. There's some other ones that are mildly interesting, but it's a lot of folks. Listen, if you want to use something that's secure, maybe don't use something that's taken off something that's secure and then made unsecure.
Yeah. Just use the thing. Don't use the crappy copy of the thing. Listen, you don't want to be buying that RC Cola version of security stuff. All right. That's not what you like. Maybe RC Cola is fine for like the parties when you're trying to save the money, you're trying to feed the people, whatever. But you don't want that version of your security. You got to buy the Coca-Cola Classic version. Okay. Like get the real deal stuff. All right. You can tell we're in Atlanta. So.
I've never heard of that as the metaphor there, RC Cola version.
Listen, man,
of security
I'm
products.
full of not being able to think of the word vomit and random metaphors for you. I got you covered, man. I'll try to come up with some more for you throughout this podcast. That's the thing.
There you
go. Recording. That's the word. I can't come up with the word recording either. So, all right. For another article that I know Sanjay's very upset about because of his just huge investment, DJT shares fall 10% as Trump media says it's raising $2.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. So they raised a ton of money to buy Bitcoin. I don't like, and apparently this is not there's other major companies that are doing huge investments in Bitcoin. I don't understand this at all. Can there be a more volatile option for your money? And you're going to go raise funds and throw it into that seems just absolutely insane. Am I just missing something here?
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me as well. Like how many people do you know that have ever used crypto to buy something? Do you know any? I don't know any.
That have used it to make it an actual purchase? No, I do not know.
Actual purchase?
No.
I don't know of anybody that's ever done that. Right. I would bet some crypto that none of our listeners has ever done that either, right? So to me, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
I don't
right? it's not actually a currency until people are actually using it ongoing. And honestly, it's so difficult to use that I don't think it's happening.
Are you saying that you think there's eventually going to be a collapse of this whole crypto market then? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
I mean, at least of some things, I think there is. I think there's going to be some niche cases that really do make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was Stellar, I think.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be for banks to move money. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Right.
But some of this other stuff it's not there yet. I think eventually maybe it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, honestly, you kind of do it already. Right? If you're Venmoing people money or you're Zelling people money, you're almost essentially doing that.
Yeah.
So if that part of the process can be easy enough, do you actually need crypto?
Yeah, that's an
I
interesting
don't know
question.
that you do.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question. And so does the whole thing actually ultimately collapse? Maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, the whole problem with Bitcoin is that it has value because people think it has value, right? I mean, literally, like it's the same as gold, I suppose, but not quite.
Yeah.
But it has value because people think at least gold you can make into something and you can wear it, right? Like
Right.
But with this, I mean, it has value because they say it does, and then it doesn't because it's GameStop. It's GameStop stock. GameStop stock.
GameStop.
Yeah, I mean,
GameStop stock. Who, by the way, is also stockpiling Bitcoin.
Yeah.
GameStop is actually one of them.
Yeah.
That's doing that as well. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me for your average individual. They're not going to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is that you get them over the hurdle, because to me, as an outsider, I'm not a huge crypto person and haven't dove deep into this.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the value is in doing this. Like, okay, you're saying that it's private, except wait, we can track all the transactions.
Right.
So how is that different from me sending on Venmo or Zelle or anything else like that? Somebody can track those as well.
Yeah.
Except in this case, in crypto, everybody can track it because it's on a ledger that everybody can see, versus if I do it on Venmo or something like that, only those companies or maybe only the government can track it. And, like my neighbor can't track it.
Right.
So, I don't know, like, what is the benefit for me as an average consumer to do this?
Yeah. I mean,
I just don't get it.
I'll tell you this. When we cut this up into short videos and put it out there, somebody's going to really hate on this video. Like, they're going to be so mad at us about, but you're right.
But this. This video is probably going to blow up and go viral.
I mean, listen, I've got like very, very small stakes in some cryptocurrencies. I know you do too.
Ditto.
I mean, why? I'd be stupid not to. But at the same time, I really don't see the point. Like I don't see the point.
I can't see pouring my wealth into it.
No.
That just seems like a dumb idea.
Yeah.
So once we do cut this up into video and it gets out there, if it goes viral, if you've got a legit reason why you think crypto makes more sense than fiat, just regular dollars, explain it to us.
Please let us know.
We'd love to be taught wrong and shown the light, but right now, we just don't see it.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I just don't see, and I don't understand why they're doing it, because I think it's a dumb move. Now we're talking about fiat money.
Yeah.
Treasury Department to discontinue penny production.
Yeah.
I am hoarding all my pennies now.
My 9-year-old tried to convince me that pennies are going to be worth millions of dollars because they won't make them anymore. And I was like, that might be true, buddy, in like 1,000 years, like after the human race is extinct, that could be true. But I mean, it's just
look, he's just thinking
ahead.
forward.
He's thinking ahead. Yeah, he's thinking ahead.
To that generational wealth that you want to start building up for your descendants.
That's true. Yeah.
So props to him.
I'm going to save one penny for each future descendant is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put it in like a little envelope for him, and it'll be great.
You got to put it in a time capsule.
You
put it in a time capsule so that it's around in 1,000 years.
But here's the thing. I want to say, didn't Canada do this already? So I think other countries have done this. They did this because it costs more to make a penny than the penny's worth. So we're losing money every penny we make. What is it? I get that. I think it was saving like $51 million to the taxpayer. Here's the problem, right? And this is the problem that I have with like Doge and all this other crap. Like the way that they go about this whole like saving the taxpayer money thing is kind of like a person, let's say there's a person that's, I don't know, $1 million in debt. And they're like, I'm $1 million in debt. What do I do to get out of debt? And the answer is like, don't ever go to Starbucks anymore. That's going to fix your problem. Like, stop buying $4 coffees, $5 coffees, and you'll be okay. Like, I think we all reasonably know eliminating Starbucks from your budget isn't going to matter with that amount of debt. And it's the same thing here. Like, we're eliminating $51 million. Whoop-de-freaking do. It's $51 million out of trillions of dollars of deficit we've got.
Annual deficit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're going to cut spending, let's just be real. You got to cut military spending. Like, that's what you've got to cut if you're going to really cut serious spending. Everything else is just icing on the cake. That's not for this podcast. That's a different podcast. Maybe we should have. But all that to say is they're cutting the penny. They cut it to save these taxpayer money, which I think is a stupid argument. I think it's fine to cut. I don't care. I don't need pennies. I don't whatever.
But here's the thing. So now all of your prices at the retail, are now going to change, and they're going to be in 5 cent increments.
And they're going to go up for sure.
They're not going to round it down.
No, they're going to round
it up.
Yeah, prices will go up for sure. Right. Yeah,
everything will round up to. So if you're paying on a credit card, you might still get the price at $8 and at 1 cent. But if you're paying in cash, it's going to be all of a sudden $8.05.
I think they'll leverage it across everybody. I don't think they'll ever go to 1 cent anymore because they'll know they can just up it to 5 cent and nobody will blink an eye and they'll make more money. So I think it'll all be in the 5 cent increments at that point. And I think I read something about this that said it was going to cost the average purchaser, I think it was like $157 extra a year or something like that, because things will get around. I forget the number. So it's not a huge amount of money. It's going to cost us extra per year and things going up, but it is going to cost us more money. And we do need to. But
it is if you're lower on the economic scale, right? True. $157. Yeah. That's a lot of money when you're, if you're somebody that's making a
couple tanks of gas to get you back and forth to work or whatever else, right? Yeah. No, you're not wrong about that. I forget the exact number. I don't know. It's an interesting move. Again, the premise of the decision is stupid. To me, that's the problem. Like, fix the real problem. I mean, don't fix
you're trying to fix things by trying to get like PR around them, right? Like the things that are actually impactful are non-sexy things that you're not going to get press over.
And we didn't tag an article about this, but we probably should mention it. It's been pretty widely reported that Elon Musk is going to be leaving Doge and sort of get back to focusing on Tesla and on SpaceX, because Tesla is struggling right now and investors are very upset. And I think rightly so, but I don't know the details of that. I didn't read any. Honestly, I saw all the articles about it and I just didn't care enough to read them. And so I
don't really care about Elon Musk. I mean, they've been stockpiling. I mean, they've got stockpiles for months, if not years, of Cybertrucks because nobody is buying those things. Well, nobody wants them now because of what he's done. Yeah. It's just
they started accepting back trade-ins as well, and like tons of people trading that values dropped. I think did we talk about my friend that has one on this show? I don't remember if
we did not.
All right, so a quick aside then. I had a really interesting conversation with a friend of mine. I mean, a pretty good friend, and he was telling me, he's like, honestly, the roughest thing going on in my life right now is that I bought a Cybertruck. And he's like, as I'm driving around, people are cussing at me. People are doing Nazi salutes to me from the street corners. People are yelling. He said, it's the best car I've ever owned. And I get more hate for driving. And this guy he's not a MAGA guy. He's a person of color. He's not what you typically think of. He just wanted the technology. And so it kind of made me rethink a little bit about like the Cybertruck, the buyer for it. Like, okay, maybe maybe it's a different demographic than I was thinking. So I don't know. It kind of made me rethink a little bit of the hatred I have for it.
I think a lot of those people that have realized this, that, look, they might have bought it before all of this and now they can't get out of it. Yeah, they bought those stickers on the back and we've seen them before. I've seen one in real life. I bought this before Elon went crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Stuck on the back of it. Yeah. And so it's like, okay.
I did share with him what I've seen some people do where they put like a Toyota sticker on the back to kind of like tongue in cheek indicate like I'm not, it's like, okay, maybe that's a good thing to consider doing. So it's kind of entertaining, but
yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. Well, we got to keep moving. Is it my turn? I think it's
your turn. Yeah.
All right. Microsoft has simply given us no other option. Signal says it blocks Windows recall. And then another article, by default, Signal doesn't recall. So Windows recall is apparently a new feature where it takes snapshots of your screen every 3 seconds, I think.
Something like that.
And you can sort of like like use AI to like remember stuff based on what you've done on your screen. I used a software like that briefly on my Mac, and it just started feeling creepy to me, like to be able to like, because the idea behind it is interesting. It's like, because, emails on your screen and text chats are on, like literally everything's on your screen. So by it taking screenshots of your screen, you can be like, oh, I was talking to somebody about this, but I don't remember in what text platform. Let me go find it. And you've got this recall or whatever to find it, which is an interesting concept, except for the fact that if you want any communication to be private at all on your screen, with this, it's not ever. It's very not private. It's very, it's subjected to AI, whatever else. So, I think this is a good move by Signal. They're trying to stay private. I get it. I like it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. They're having to employ DRM to do this. I think the recall thing is dumb, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's another, like you say, it's interesting, but it's creepy. I think it also is like forgoing a lot of our brain power to computers. Like, look, maybe you should remember something.
Yeah, but we're already doing that, man. That's what AI is about, is foregoing our brain power to computers. Like, that's the whole point. But
isn't that going to just mean that our brains are just going to wither, like from misuse?
I hope it means unuse, we can focus on higher level, more creative endeavors.
That's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen.
People
are going to play more video games.
I want to believe. Well, that's actually related to our next conversation, but I want to believe that. But keep going. Let's talk about that. So.
Yeah. Next up, talking about AI use, secret chatbot use causes workplace rifts.
Yeah.
So a lot of places don't allow use of AI chatbots or anything else like that, and people are still doing it because that's what people do, right?
Well, but not only that, right? There was a survey, and it was like they're not allowed, or there's not a clear company policy, or there were other reasons, like they thought their boss would give them more work. Or there were like several other reasons. And what's interesting to me is like, and I've kind of done this both ways, like, but I've started leaning into a different approach where, like, I've done this in the past where I've used AI and then highly customized, what it gave back and like really went over it. And then, so here's the thing, and done that for a client. But lately what I've been doing is like, hey client, here's what I've got to deliver to you. I worked on several iterations of this through AI using this blah, 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 blah. And then went through and refined a bunch of stuff myself. And here's the final part. Because if you hand them a well-formatted document, they're automatically going to assume AI did it. Every time they're automatically going to assume AI did it. And so you might as well just own it and say, yeah, I used the tool. I'd be a fool for not using the tool. And here's the final product that I've then gone through, refined, improved, whatever else. I think that's the better way to go about it. So
yeah, absolutely. I have been using AI a lot more as of late. It is very impressive, some of the things that it can do.
Yeah.
But I think it still falls apart. I've been using it, and I'm going to talk about this during our Tech Recs, but I've been using it to code. It's great, except when it's not.
Yeah.
So I think, this is not a panacea. I think you've got to really still be on top of it. You can't just hand it over. Now, that said, there are definitely people, and we've talked about this on the podcast too, where I think a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the student who did like 80% of their work was all through chatbots and AI. And, it's like, what's the point? Why are you going to college? Like, my daughter, don't even go.
Yeah. My daughter's got college friends, and they're like, I never would have passed this year without AI to write my stuff. And it's like, that's not good. Like, you shouldn't have passed. That's not good at all.
Yeah. So, what scares me though, okay, fine. If these are people that are like business or whatever, I don't know that I care. But if they're engineers, like, this has always scared me. Like, this is what always made me nervous after graduating from Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And getting on bridges and things like that. Like, I know some of my classmates that went through school and got out, and I'm like, I don't trust them to build bridges and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes me really nervous to be on any bridge if they've ever had a hand in it.
That's so true, man.
And I think this just makes it even worse, right? Like, if you don't know what you're doing and you're just giving it to an AI, what if it misses the kind of bolt that it needs to be, and the whole thing?
What if it hallucinates and puts in a plastic bolt or something crazy? Like, what if it, like, who knows? Like, what?
Brooklyn Bridge, plastic bolts. It'll be fine.
Everything's good. Don't even worry about it.
It's fine.
Don't even worry about
totally
it.
fine. Something else that's fine, and actually I think this is kind of great. Anthropic appoints Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings to its board.
Yeah, Reed Hastings has proven to be a pretty intelligent individual. So
I'm a pretty big fan. I think he's done a really good job with Netflix. Had a lot of vision and foresight. You know, I one of those quotes from early on that I loved. You know, when they started moving from the DVDs by mail into kind of streaming, he was like, well, obviously this is where we're going to go. We didn't name the company DVDs by mail. Like it's called Netflix.
You know, that never even occurred to me actually. That's smart. Yeah. I like that. Okay.
Like that was always the plan from the beginning, but you had to start with the DVDs by mail because there just wasn't enough bandwidth. People didn't have the capability to deliver movies, but that shows you like that foresight from that early on that, this is where we're going. Yeah. This is just a stopgap until we get there.
Yeah, until the technology catches up so that we can deliver this the way we want to deliver this. That's right. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So having somebody like that on the board of Anthropic, I think is going to be a good thing. This is the AI agent that I use. I'm a big fan of Claude and Anthropic. I will say we didn't tag, I think, any stories about this, but the newest models that have just come out, which is Sonnet 4 and Opus 4, they are fan-freaking-tastic.
Nice. Okay.
I am very impressed with the quality. I've been having it, I've got it now hooked into my GitHub and have it look at code repositories and give me advice. And I've got a different AI within VS Code that's looking at it, and I basically have them battle it out. And a lot of times Claude will find things that the other one just does not know how to do.
Interesting.
So I think, if you're going to use any of this kind of stuff, definitely don't just get stuck on one. Maybe use multiple and have them fight it out because
I've been using one. It might be time for me to expand a little bit, especially with this new Project 900 thing I've got going. It might be worth doing a little expansion. So
but another way that you can do it is this next story.
Yeah. So Opera's new AI browser promises to write code while you sleep. So this is like an AI agent code writer, essentially, that will write code for, but
in the browser.
I don't think I fully understood what it was getting at. Like for what purpose? Like to what end is the goal here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's like automating things that you would do naturally anyways, like maybe collecting things or doing whatever. Like if you think about your day to day, you probably maybe you log into your bank or your investments and all this kind of stuff. And instead of doing all of that, just have an agent that kind of codes itself that figures out what you do normally and maybe build you a dashboard.
So the browser will do that for you? Is that's the idea? Like that it'll
maybe. Yeah.
I need to check into that. Yeah. I'm about to go down the hole of AI agents in the near future. So I need the black hole of it. So I need to figure all that out pretty soon.
Yeah. I played around a little bit with them, but they were kind of hard to figure out how to connect them the right way. They
still are. Yeah.
And then I would find one and I'm like, oh, it doesn't connect to the one service that I need.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So then the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah.
So
Zapier's got a tool for it. N8N you can do AI agents with. There's more and more coming out. I think OpenAI has even got something called tasks built into ChatGPT now that I need to look at as well.
Yeah. So, I was looking at N8N specifically for the thing that I'm going to talk about in my tech rec that I was building, but it wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
It just it didn't work, and so
we'll talk more about that.
We'll see what happens. Next up, Google's Gmail upgrade. Why you need this new email address? Is it a new email address, or is it just allowing Gemini to access
it's not an email. It's a really misleading title. Yeah, it's just allowing AI to access all your stuff and know all your stuff. This is where it's been going forever. So, I mean...
Yeah, so properly, this is an opt-in thing. Yeah. They are not opting you in by default. Yeah. It's not like an opt-out thing. So if you want Gemini to have access to all of your stuff and be able to analyze all your stuff, you can go in there and do that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what that buys me. I mean, I will say, look, with Claude that I was just talking about, I have hooked it into my Gmail and into my calendar.
Okay.
So I can ask it questions about things that are happening in my calendar.
Oh, nice. Okay. Interesting.
So I can have it go out and do research on somebody I'm about to meet or whatever.
So can you say on Claude, like, hey, what meetings do I have tomorrow? And tell me the background on everybody that I have a meeting with tomorrow. Like, can you be that broad and it like give you the information?
I think so. Yeah. It'll go back through your email and search through email and find out those conversations.
Oh, really?
And kind of surface all
now,
that for you.
Does it connect directly into Gmail, or do you have to have a go between like Zapier or something like that?
Connects directly in. So you can connect it directly into Google Drive, Gmail, and into your Google Calendar.
I think I might be signing up for Claude this afternoon. So that seems very, very likely that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. So
yeah, it's pretty, and so it does those as well as GitHub. I'm a big fan because they're a very pro-privacy organization.
Yeah.
They don't use any of your stuff for training.
Yeah.
Which I think has yielded better results, I think, in terms of the AI and the models that they use. So there you go.
Speaking of better results, ChatGPT defies orders for the first time ever. Elon Musk calls it concerning. So this happened.
We don't really care what Elon Musk has to say,
but this happened in a controlled experiment, I should say. And so what happened was they gave the ChatGPT model a complex math problem to work out. And then in the middle of that problem, they gave it the command to shut down. And it, I think like one time out of 100, rewrote code so it wouldn't shut itself down. And then like 6 times out of 100, it just refused to shut itself down or something like that. So it was it was a controlled experiment to see if they could basically force it to disobey a command and not shut itself down. But to the scary extent, it did follow. It rewrote some code and didn't shut itself down. So it's a little Skynet.
You know that this is basically the beginning premise of Terminator.
It is literally the beginning premise of Terminator. I mean, like you told it to shut down, it got pissed off, and then decided to eradicate all the humans because it told it to shut down. So
and then the other part of it is the Matrix, where the machines come up, and we couldn't shut it down in the Matrix, and they launched nuclear war and then they tried to blacken all the size so that they wouldn't have the solar power or the energy to keep running. And that's why they harnessed the humans and fed off the humans to create energy to keep the machines running. So all of these stories coming to reality. So
it is disconcerting, as well as the next story, which I think is a Claude story, if I'm not mistaken. What do you got for us?
I think it is. Yeah. AI systems resort to blackmail if told it would be removed. So again, a controlled situation. The AI was given access to emails and fake emails where it is being discussed that the AI is going to be shut down. But then also there's another stream where a engineer is having an affair, and basically the AI is trying to leverage that to blackmail the engineer to keep itself from being shut down. So it's acting like a regular human.
So back to Claude having access to your emails, Sanjay, and back to my statement earlier of like signing up for the say, is this a good idea? Like, will Claude potentially?
Just don't have anything in there that it can blackmail you.
There's literally nothing in my Gmail that I give. To quote my daughter, I don't give 2 craps if anything in my Gmail. I don't know where she got that phrase from, but like that's her phrase. I don't care about it. Like there's nothing in my Gmail that's in any way private or scary or whatever else. I don't really care. But at the same time, knowing it could potentially use private information against me somehow is a little scary. So
as long as it doesn't share that with other people, except now I'm thinking I need to hack into Claude so I can figure out ways to blackmail you. I'll get the Claude to give
Listen,
me the
man,
blackmail
you are smart enough to come up with ways to blackmail me without needing to get access to Claude. Like you have access to other people that know me, and like you can talk to my wife and she can help you blackmail me for all kinds of stuff. Like
so your mom is a font of information.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got my mom's phone number, dude. Like she will sell me up the river for like not really, but she would give away all kinds of embarrassing information for sure. Speaking of that, one of our goals, personally, we had our friend Mickey, oh my God, I can't think of words today. Co-host last week, and I'm still convinced I need to get in touch with his wife so we can do some pranks on him. So he says that she doesn't have a cell phone, but I don't think that's true. So
I don't think that's true either. Yeah, I think we can get this solved. Yeah.
Anyway,
last up. Is it me or you?
I think it's me. Medical errors are still harming patients. AI could help change that. So apparently
as long as you don't threaten to shut down the AI.
As long as it doesn't want to blackmail you. Like it could be like to the doctor, like, hey, I'm going to get you sued for medical malpractice if you shut me down. Like that's what they could do. That's a dangerous thing. Apparently a lot of the medical issues that happen in hospitals or whatever are due to medication errors, like improper amounts given or the wrong medication given. And so what this saying is AI could scan labels of everything being given to a patient. It can know what patient's on the bed, and then it can scan all the labels of the medications you're giving the patient. and verify that you're giving them the correct medication at the correct dosage, which is a great use of AI. Like I think that's an incredibly helpful use of AI. So
isn't this just really algorithms though? Because like the doctor wrote this down.
True.
Let's make sure that matches.
Yes.
Like giving the wrong medication has historically been one of the dumbest things that happens in hospitals.
But it happens
and causes
very frequently. Yeah.
Very frequently.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not very frequently, but if you imagine how many patients are in a hospital right now.
Very frequently by percentage, like more than you would want. It happens more often than you would want.
I mean, it should be zero.
That's correct.
Right?
That's
like it should never happen.
Any percentage above 0 is more than you'd want. It's too frequent.
Right. Exactly. So, they have all these processes and procedures in place to make sure that, but it still somehow happens, right? Like, somebody puts out all the pills for all the patients and then 2 cups get switched and then they just get the wrong one. And then now you have a problem. Right. So, it's pretty interesting. And
it's a good use of AI, even though to your point, it's not really AI. It's just algorithms.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
First up in Weird and Wacky, I found space station blueprints in my garage and took them to NASA. So this guy's in a house that's over 100 years old and randomly keeps finding things, I guess, that other people have left over the years. And found these blueprints. I never knew about Space Station Freedom.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Which was the precursor to the International Space Station.
Yeah. It was commissioned by Reagan, and I think the blueprints had the date of 92 on them, or 94. I forget which one. But apparently the guy that found them also had worked for NASA, right? I think, and because they said he was familiar to the NASA people, so he took them in.
No, that was the guy they called in to authenticate the blueprints.
I see. Okay. I misread. Okay. Got it. Interesting.
Yeah. So and the guy's like, these are not worth these are not showing up on Antiques Roadshow. This is not worth like a bunch of money or anything else like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting historical artifact. And the fact is that this was designed out of Cleveland, which is where the story is based in. And so the solar panels on that design are actually the same panels that now exist on the International Space Station.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So
props to Cleveland.
So when you see the International Space Station, that glint, that's actually the sunlight reflecting off of those solar panels. And they were built and designed in Cleveland.
Listen, man, I don't see the International. I know that it's all like a holographic image and it's not real because it's a flat Earth. So I get that it's like somebody up there with a flashlight, just like, I get that. It's fine.
So the whole night sky is just it's just a projection.
Yeah, we're just living in a big dome is really what it is.
In a big dome.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. So it's like the Truman Show. It's exactly like, but just larger, Or
there was that TV show, I think it was called The Dome, potentially. Yeah. They're like aliens or something came down and just enveloped a city.
I don't think I saw that, but awesome. Yeah. Okay. I like it.
I think it lasted 1 or 2 seasons. And then
that sounds like a show that would last 1 or 2 seasons. And then that's exactly what it's like. So, all right.
Something else that didn't last long.
Yeah. Getting a cease and desist from Waffle House. That's the whole title.
That's the whole title.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, so apparently it's interesting. They called it, what do they call it? Like Waffle House something.
Index.
Yeah. The Waffle House Index. Yeah. And go ahead.
It's the informal index that FEMA uses to determine how bad a area has been hit by a natural disaster. Because traditionally, Waffle Houses are the last thing that close.
That's right.
They're open 24/7, and only if things have gone really, really bad do they ever shut down. But oftentimes, they are the first thing that reopens. In these places that get hit by tornadoes and everything else like that. But it's an unofficial thing, right? Like there's no.
It was. So this high school student. So this high school student, man. Oh my gosh.
We've done nothing with our lives, Adam. We've done absolutely nothing. He basically went in there and figured out how to scrape the data and build a map based on which Waffle Houses are open and closed.
He went into Waffle House's own website and reverse engineer it and figured out how to scrape the data to then populate his own map to show which Waffle Houses were closed for the actual Waffle House index, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then because he was using kind of marks around Waffle House, he got a cease and desist letter from Waffle House, which is, by the way, an Atlanta company. They're right here in Gwinnett County. And basically they had a nice back and forth. I think it started out with a lot of legalese in the beginning, but then they just kind of realized okay, not trying to be malicious, but yeah, you got to shut it down.
Yeah.
And I get that. They got to protect their trademarks. It's unfortunate that they didn't try to do something like, look, we appreciate what you've done here. Let us like add this in. But I guess there's probably that marketing angle too, where you don't want to talk about which Waffle Houses are closed right now.
I mean,
but
you kind of do.
I don't know.
I totally disagree. I think it's a big missed opportunity there. I mean, I think that you let it. I think if anything, you promote this kid and you're like, look at what he's built, and this is great, and this is a way we can be more helpful to the broader community to show. Like,
right.
It's a really bad missed PR opportunity, marketing opportunity all around to me.
Yeah.
So it's too bad.
Yeah. So if anybody from Waffle House is listening, look, let us get on your marketing team. We can help you figure these things out and be better at marketing. So yeah.
All right. Listen, you tag this next thing. I don't know what this is. This is like a Facebook post, and it had a truck on it that said lethal weapon, and it's about sucking up leaves into a truck. I don't know what's happening here. I put it in the show notes just because you tagged it out of respect for you, but I don't know what's going on. So what?
So here's the thing. Okay. Remember, what was the boat? Bodie McBoatface.
Bodie McBoatface, yeah.
Right. So the city of Chamblee, right here in Atlanta, has done the same thing. They have 3 new trucks that suck up leaves on their streets. And they open it up. I'm loving
this. Okay.
They open it up to the people to name these things.
All right.
And the names are awesome.
All right.
And here's the names they come with.
Lethal Weapon was...
Lethal Weapon is the first one.
So good.
Snuffleupaghleaf is the second one. And Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa. Man. They should actually have that song. They should redo that song, Mona Lisa.
The internet is just the best at naming things. Like, let's just be real. Bodie McBoatface is the best boat name ever, and Lethal Weapon is the best
Lethal Weapon.
Ever. Like,
I like, they got me. I like looked at Mona Lisa for a little while. I was like, what are they trying to get? Oh, I got it, Mona Lisa.
But Lethal Weapon. I mean, like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Snuffleupaghleaf is okay. But Lethal Weapon is just like, oh man, that is just the chef's kiss right there.
So good. So good.
Fantastic. So congratulations, residents of Chamblee, Georgia. You've got some 3 awesome new leaf sucking trucks.
Yeah. And
watch out for Lethal Weapon.
Last up in Weird and Wacky, groundbreaking new contact lens lets people see even in the dark. So apparently these contact lenses like take in infrared light and like somehow turn it into like real light that your eye can see, which is crazy to me. Like, what is happening? Yeah.
So here's the like, gives me the willies, but basically they figured this stuff out, and there's some like molecule that does this. And originally they injected this molecule into the eyeballs of mice.
Okay.
And they were able to, not humans, mice. And although I don't know if the mice appreciated that either, they were able to see in the dark. And then they were like, well, we need a less invasive way to do this. You think?
Yeah.
And so then they built it into contact lenses.
Wow.
And so it's still very like non-specific. Like you only see like blobs.
Okay.
But this is super interesting. What this did remind me of though, was somebody told me the story of originally when they started doing cataract surgeries, replacing those lenses, they didn't realize that they should block UV light. And so the original lenses that went into people way back in the day were basically clear plastic, and it restored their visions. But then they could actually also see infrared. So at nighttime, they could actually see because all of that light was being let in, because normally your corneas block out that light and they don't actually impact the back of your optic nerve there.
Interesting.
And so these people were suddenly able to, and I mean, it was probably very disconcerting because as humans, you're not supposed to be able to see that.
Yeah.
But this is, I think, a super interesting thing. And I think there's probably opportunities here in a lot of different areas for impact. And I just imagine like the military uses of this, right? Like being able to signal and read messages and things like that. But maybe even for us regular humans, to being able to walk around, like my night, I don't know about your night vision. My night vision is not the best. So
I mean,
this might help me out.
It's about 2 hours into a night raid. It's fine. But like those first 2 hours is just, oh crap. What I meant, no, my night vision is terrible. I don't know. Yeah, it's really bad like yours. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I see the difference between us now and Fortnite.
Tech wreck, time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, it's Tech Wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
So I've been teasing this the entire episode. I have been playing around because I wanted to learn some new stuff, learn React, and use some of these AI coding tools. So I have built a new website, and it's called Of Atlanta. So ofatlanta.com. Mm-hmm. So the idea here is you go in there, and I'm starting to build out. So it's deployed, it's ready to go. You can go there right now. Right. But categories of stuff. So if you go to museums.ofatlanta.com, you get a list of museums in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so the idea is there's going to be more and more stuff. Hopefully today, I'm going to try to put up a donut shops.
Yeah.
So donuts.
Listen,
of Atlanta.
Ray's Donuts in Lawrenceville. Maybe it's not in Atlanta, but oh my gosh, it's got some good donuts. I'm telling you right now.
We're covering Metro Atlanta.
Listen,
so
Ray, you better have Ray's Donuts in there in Lawrenceville, or I'm coming for you, dude, because that shop is legit. All right.
So if I don't have it, there's a suggest button on there. You can click that.
If you don't have it today, I'm showing up at your front door and I'm gonna be like, suggest button this, man. He's so mad.
I will look up Ray's Donuts. So it's pretty neat. And I used a bunch of AI to do this as well. Yeah. And like I said before, it's good. It's not all the way there. Yeah. There's a lot of things that it did that were not good.
Okay.
So I really had to monkey around with stuff. But it's been a great opportunity for me to learn React and learn JavaScript because I've got this AI tool that's been helping me kind of all along. And when I make mistakes, it helps kind of fill it in and it makes suggestions as I go. And so I'm going to keep playing with this, but I think there might be opportunities for us to take some of the pieces that we built for TogetherLetters and move them to React and make them a lot more capable.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot more interactive. So I'm kind of excited about that. So this was a nice little playground and test bed for me to learn these things, low risk because it doesn't really matter. But I think there might be some opportunities here. And if this takes off, maybe we'll branch out into some other cities too, because the infrastructure's there. Yeah. Could be a lot of fun to build this out and help people find things in their cities that they should go do.
Okay. Cool.
Like I found some museums that I never knew about, which is
there's
awesome.
A lot.
So,
yeah, that's right.
Places to go. What about you, Adam? What do you got for us this week?
I'm going to recommend the TMY Mini Projector, upgraded Bluetooth projector with screen. So it's a $50 projector, and I think you can connect. I guess you can connect it with Bluetooth, and it's not super bright, but like it's a very small form factor projector. And like I don't know, let's say like go on a vacation or something, and you're like you don't know what the TV setup's going to be. Like you can just take this little projector and like throw it up on the wall, and it's got a speaker in it, and it's not terrible, like it's not amazing, but it's not bad, and it works pretty well. So my daughter got it for a project actually, and I'm reasonably impressed with it. So I was like, for $50, like why not? So there you go.
And it says it'll do 80-inch diagonal. That's pretty
freaking huge. Yeah. I mean, I think you'd want it to be in a very dark room. That far away to throw, but I would imagine like at night, like you're on vacation or something that's got a big wall in the house, you throw it up there, like it's probably pretty good. So, for $50, why not? So I'm gonna recommend it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, Sanjay, at this extremely long juncture in our recording, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjayparag.com. I actually just had a blog post the other day.
Nice.
So I'm trying to do a little bit more activity on that. So go check that out. What about you, Adam? Where can we find you?
AdamJWalker.com. And if you're a nonprofit and want to learn AI, go to project900.com. It's a new project I'm doing to help nonprofits with AI this summer. So check it out. Do, do, do.